appreciate it if you would stop Rob Taylor from blathering on and on.
Opinions expressed by the talk show hosts, callers, or guests on the Rob Taylor Report do not necessarily represent the opinions of the hosting platform, subsidiaries, sponsors, or possibly anyone else on the planet or the known universe. From the tinfoil and lead-lined broadcast bunker on the beautiful south coast of Oregon, it's the Rob Taylor Report. So strap yourself in. Your political therapy session is about to begin. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is, the nearly famous Rob Taylor.
And I want to thank all of you for joining us. I got some special guests. It's a special night. It's election night. And we're going to get some results here. They're supposed to be dropping them if they haven't already been dropped. And we're going to go to that. But I want to bring on some guests because I got some candidates here. I've got Todd Vaughn, who's joining me all the way from Douglas County and from Tiller, believe it or not, Tiller, Oregon. And Todd Vaughn is joining me. I've got Chris Castleman from here in Coos County. I got Janessa Rains. And just Michaela is going to be joining us. So it's going to be a full room. How are you guys doing? How are you guys feeling before we go check the results? Are you feeling lucky?
I'm really
no
proud.
clue what to think.
I'm really proud that we got together and we're here standing.
Yeah.
We didn't get a lot of support from our own party, but we're here standing and we know we're here for the right reasons.
And that's something we'll go into later after the results, because I think the results will speak volumes of what's going on here in the county. We may take a hard left if things go bad, and that's not where we want to be in this county. And so we'll find out. We'll find out here in a few minutes. But Chris, what do you feel? What's your thoughts?
Oh, I have no idea what to think. This is a special election with very low, strange turnout. You have no clue. We could knock them out of the park. We could get knocked out of the park. You have no idea. It all depends on who shows up to vote. So
It's blinders.
And Todd, you're in an interesting race because the party once again isn't supporting you. From what I didn't see your name on their website as far as candidates, Republican candidates. That was a little screwed up.
Yeah, they seem to have I don't know, developed some sort of coolness towards me for some reason. I don't know what it is.
Oh shoot. Well, let me start doing my screen share here, because I think we need to get to this. It should be dropping any second here. So I'm going to share my screen.
oh, they're up. I can see them.
Oh, yay. All right.
Oh wow. It's not great.
It's not great. Can you see this? Okay, I'm going to start at the beginning. Let's just start at the beginning and work our way down. Damn, I missed it. Where is it? Okay, so Benetti's running for airport district by himself. Of course, he's won. It looks like Brent Pales. Yeah, I say he's pretty safe right now. Harper Thompson, well, he ran by himself, so he's good. Oh, this is good. Look at this. Coos County Area Transportation. Phil, I think you got this one. You guys see this?
Nice. That's really cool. Well, I mean, everybody got to realize these results are early, right? They're going to change.
But they're not going to change a lot. If we're
a couple
within
points, maybe
a couple of points. So if you got a pretty good spread, and this is a pretty good spread, I would be safe to say that I think he's sealed the deal.
Well, and I think the results trend liberal first, right? Like I think conservative people
Yep.
tend to vote on the day of the election. So, Phil Taylor is conservative, so it should even go more in his direction. But you never know. But that's a very good result right there for people.
That's a good one.
Only 4,500 votes. What, we got 60,000 population?
We will probably end up with 18,000 votes. I'm glad you noticed that, Janessa. That's really low because in a special district election, on average, we get anywhere between 18 to 20,000 votes. That's 36 to 38% of the electorate. And so that's a real low number.
Well, and I'm looking at the daily ballot returns. So on the 9th, they had 4,000 votes in. On the 12th, they had 5,000 votes in our county. So that looks like those are results from back on like between the 9th and the 10th, right? Like they're still counting ballots coming in. So that's like the first week of voting. But yeah, that's a landslide loss. That's not great.
A loss. That's a 34%. Wow. But yeah, I don't know how you can make up that swing, but 5,481 have come in on that one.
But is that SWAC? Is that just Coos County or is that Curry County?
That is just Coos County. You are correct. So let me let's go back.
But if that's my home county, that you know what I mean? Like that's not great.
Let's look at Curry County. Let's look in Curry County.
I'm going. No, hold on. They've got an what is it called? Here we go. Hold on. Southern, South Coast. I had it here earlier. These are the combined totals of the three counties right here. And you can get this. South Marcia Jensen is still at 65,000 at 90
about the same
votes. Yep.
Jeremy that's a lot more votes.
That's a lot more votes. That's
like double. So I think Coos County is behind in reporting. Then that's what it looks like to me.
That's what it looks like to me too. And Janessa, you got 30. Well, you got a better percentage than Chris did.
Thanks. Whose idea was to bring us on this show today?
Congratulations,
Who
you
does
guys.
this?
I just say rip that Band-Aid off, Chris. Just rip it off.
The voters
Welcome to Southwestern Oregon politics.
Well, Chris, you're the exposer, so you're the one that brought it to the light.
This was plan A. There's plan B, C, and D.
That's right.
We've got a mission, and we're not going to stop. So,
well, since I've got this up, let's talk about this. Let's see if I can add this to the stage. The board decided to make this decision, and I didn't find it on their website, but I found a posting about this. Is this accurate, Chris?
I mean, I don't have like official word on this. I have had multiple staff members and students reach out to me about it, but yeah, they have not officially announced any sort of I don't know, a punitive measure against Curtis, because there's currently an investigation going on. So They have not released the results of that investigation. They have until, I believe, Friday, the end of the week, to either release the results of the investigation or extend it. So, but yeah, it sounds like they moved his office.
Yeah, they moved his, and so
which would be a small win. I don't want to sound ungrateful, but like the guy needs to get out of there. He needs to go work in some other industry.
Yeah, maybe he should have a leave of absence until an investigation is done.
That's typically how it goes, right? So.
Well, this is this is the Southwestern Oregon College, and let me go back up to the top, as I think it will give me county results. Okay, here's the map. All right, why isn't it giving me the map? Okay, county results.
You're scrolling so slow, it's killing me.
Yeah, the suspense is killing.
There you go. Now he scrolled really fast.
It's my computer. Okay, hold on. Here we go. I put this map up.
It's not good all across the board. It's an ouch, a big ouch.
Yeah, but you know
Well,
But
what?
these are early results.
they're
It's our
really
early
early.
results.
I'm
Yeah,
going to tell you, I was at the assessor's, the county office seat today, and there was quite a few conservatives putting stuff in the mailbox. So I'm hoping
I got
to get a
at
message.
least I got 6 ballots out today from people from I don't know how many different people. I myself dropped off a ballot from a friend of mine in my ballot today, and that wasn't until 4:30 here in Bandon.
So you've been ballot harvesting?
I was ballot harvesting. You're damn right, lady.
I actually lost my ballot, and I was like, what am I gonna do? Because you can't do it. I didn't, if you lose it, I thought you just can't vote. So I called, and I guess I voted in person. I'd actually voted in person in Oregon. So I put the picture up for you, Rob. But they have,
Let me get that.
we should do that next election. We should get like 1,000 people to go down and like actually vote in person. And
So I had 2 or 3 people contact me and ask me, is there any place that I can vote in person? And I said, yeah, you can go down to the county clerk's office and vote. But the thing is if you have a ballot and you take your ballot, they just make you fill out your ballot in one of those things and turn it in.
yeah, well, I don't know. It's somewhere in the house, but it was rather annoying. Like it would have been nicer if I could have just gone down to like the fire station and voted like a normal person. But yeah.
Yeah,
But
that's the way it
voting in
should.
person.
Oh my gosh.
Could you imagine like 1,000 of us going down there on election day? That would be a nice political stunt.
Oh, I just kicked Michaela off the show. I was trying to log back in. Log back in there, Michaela. Back in. Sorry. I had her on the bottom of the screen and I went to click her on and I clicked off. I don't know what's the matter with my mouse today. It's acting extra fast or something. I don't know. So,
Are you going to bring up some Douglas County results too?
yeah, we're gonna have some Douglas County. I'm supposed to have some from the Curry County as well, but I want to go through some of the more of the Coos County stuff. Hey, Michaela, how you doing?
Right.
Good. How are you? Can you hear me?
We've got some Doge in the house.
Doge. So, Michaela, as soon as we go right through the Coos County ballot here, because we had to go back to the 3 tri-state district for the SWAC, Southern Oregon Coos College, to find out what the totals were, which weren't really good. This one here, let's see if I got this. Let me put this on stage. Where is it? I got 3 rows here. I've never done this before. This is a lot of stuff here. Okay, here we go. Here's the Oregon Secretary of State. Phil Taylor won for the Coos County Area Transportation. Sherry Nelson ran by herself. This is the one from Coos County. It's still 5,000 at that level. That's low because we should have about 18,000. Danessa, all 3 of our candidates lost.
Oh, what am I up to? I'm up to 40 something.
Yeah. So who knows?
But that should be 18,000 just from Coos, and then you've got about
Right.
2/3 of the votes come from Coos, about 1/3 comes from Curry, and then a little bit from Douglas. So
did you guys know these people? South Coast Education, John Ezra Shearman or Buckley?
I wasn't that familiar.
Yeah, South Coast Education, Reeves or Lally. I had no idea this person ran. Charlotte Hutt, she seems to run for everything, but she ran for this position. She ran uncontested. Joanne Moss, Nate Leslie. I didn't vote for either of those.
I did a lot of write-ins this time.
Okay, here's the bad news. Okay, this is my district. It looks like Corey Gant is going to seal the deal over David Heisel.
That's 100 or 1,000 votes. How many do you think are in the school district? That seems crazy low.
That seems crazy low, but there's only 3,300 people in Bandon. but the school district is much larger. I don't know. That's a tough one to say. Stan Avery, wow, he got his clock clean. Angela Cardis and Brianna, the Diamond Girls, they didn't run contested. And Matthew Whitmer. Now, see, I knew this was going to be a lot closer. Now, this is a good one. At
He'll pull ahead.
871, he may take this.
Yeah, he'll pull ahead.
I'm willing to bet he pulls out. Oh,
That's a real low count.
this is a real low count, too. Coos Bay School District, 2,100.
Did I do better in that race? I didn't even campaign for that one.
And you did. Yeah, but you guys got to remember, we were kind of late to the game, and we had disenfranchisement from the party. We were disenfranchised from the party. And, and then you got a senator who's supporting your opponents.
Yeah. What is the point of the Republican Party? They always say it's to get conservative candidates elected. So we bust our ass trying to find conservative candidates to run for office, and we convince a few people to run, and they put their names in and put a whole campaign together. And a few weeks into the election, David Brock Smith comes out and endorses the Democrat opponents. I mean, come on now.
How unfair.
He's it'd be fine if he just didn't want any involvement with the party, but he wants to also be involved with the upper management of the Republican Party for Oregon, and that's problematic. You can't do that.
Oh my gosh. This is the North Bend School District.
Yep, it's bad.
Oh boy. That's not good. Oh boy.
Wow. Dallas is a good candidate. Jim
Jordan's losing? Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Are you looking at the discrepancies and the totals, Rob, as you're going through this?
Yeah. The 1889 here. And then for this one, it's 1921 for Jim Jordan. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. So why would you, from 1900, well, that's not a big discrepancy, really.
There are some that are big that you've scrolled by.
Yeah, there were others that were pretty wild.
In fact, Chris Castleman, his Coos Bay School District, is the total is 2127, but all of the other school districts are in like the 1200s, 1300s. That's a giant discrepancy. That's 1,000 additional votes.
Well, that's because of that district.
District is pretty large.
I'm comparing all the other people running for the Coos Bay.
Oh my God, you're right. Look at that. That's 1,000. That's almost. Look at that. That's well, someone do the math. It's like 800 right there.
Yeah, that's enough to swing the vote.
And there's a lot of write-ins for that one candidate, Maddie.
That's weird.
That's definitely weird.
Why oh man, that is just weird.
Well, compare that to the abandoned ones where you have some that are contested and some that aren't. Is there that big of a, I mean, that's like a 40% discrepancy.
Okay, Bandon, here was one. Okay, there's 871. Brianna, 532, 581 compared to 800 in the Bandon School District for that one category. And Stan Avery's category, position 3, is 963 compared to the 581 in position 5. And is it because she's running uncontested?
You better do some screenshots of this. I would keep
it. Wow. That's ridiculous. There's something weird going on with that.
Well, we'd have to pull the totals, the incremental totals from like an election 10 years ago and look at it and compare.
I agree.
Yeah.
That'd be smart to do.
Yeah.
Nice to see you again, Michaela. I feel like we just met.
We did.
Pretty good. That was some good pizza.
Yeah, actually it is. I haven't been there to the new one since they built it. It was good.
What pizza place did you go?
Round Table. I thought it was like a junk pizza place, but it was pretty darn good.
It was actually really good. And they have a nice little meeting room there, Rob. So
Good to know.
we
Good to
might,
know.
we might use it again.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
if these are the final election results,
No,
what a
this is the
freaking
first start.
blowout.
I
No,
can
I
tell you
know
right
that, but I'm
now,
just, if it's anything similar to this, we've got
they're
some
going to change. These
thinking to
numbers are
do.
going to change a lot. You can tell by how many people are voting. Okay,
Hey,
Bandon, Port Commissioner.
get down to Danessa's Port of Coquille.
Okay, I was
She's
checking.
excited.
This is Rick O'Shea and Lori. I was hoping Lori would win, and she's winning by, it looks like 30, almost 30 votes. A little
This
less.
is a hometown vote here. Let's see. God, I'm losing this one too.
Damn.
And I had stuff up.
Yeah. Again, I think these are the results only from like the first week.
I think so.
If you look at the daily totals that came in, this is like from the 9th. These are these votes, up till May 9th.
Yeah.
So
that
this
makes
does not include the last week or today or anything.
Okay, there is the ballot totals. The total ballots returned to date is 10,000. They haven't, because they're still counting today's totals. And so, yeah, if they're only
They were at like 4,000.
Yeah, yeah. So
Or
I
here, no,
saw
they say it says it at the top. They're at 6,700 ballots counted.
that's right. It
So
says
that tracks with like the 14th. So these are from up to the 14th.
Okay, this may be good news, and here's why. And Chris pointed it out earlier. Conservatives tend to always wait till election day. And we were worried about Rod Taylor. Remember, Rod Taylor won, not by a lot, but he did win in the end after all the totals were submitted.
Yeah, I think that was a lot closer though.
No, I don't think it was. I don't think it was, wasn't it? Oh God, it's been so long. I've been through so many of these things. So let's see. We were down to, okay, I went way past where I was going here.
But very good news for Phil Taylor.
But hey, Phil, you are the champion. Yes. And by the way, nobody should ever get discouraged from losing one of these stupid districts. It doesn't mean a damn thing. You know what I mean? And Chris, you should you should talk about this. You've already lost before.
And rub it in, man.
And I'm not rubbing it in. I'm saying it because you're such a strong character. You give inspiration to people who are terrified of losing. There are people out there who are just terrified of losing, and it's like, big deal.
I mean, it's not great. Like we do all this for a purpose, and there's vision that we have for the community, and we're trying to convey it and articulate it in a way that results in an election win, so we can implement policies that we believe in. But so when we lose, it's not great. But yeah, there's more to it, right? Like I've only been doing the political thing for a year or so, so I've got a lot more time to go out and get my message out there. I ran against Arnie Robland, who's been in, I think he was in the legislature for 16 years.
Yeah.
He was, he's lived here his whole life. He was principal at Marshfield High School. So I took, the hardest person to run against. And then Marcia Jensen it was her 7th election. She's been there for 24 years at the college. So, I haven't had 24 years to get my name out there and my vision out there. And I'm hoping to be able to, win or lose, help other people do that, right? Like articulate your vision, find other people that are similar to you, work together, get it out there. I think everybody on this panel is interested in doing that. It's not just about winning, it's about working together. And
we have to give kudos
fighting.
to the Democratic machine, because you have the Democratic Party, the Democratic machine. You have the League of Women Voters, who basically is just a wing of the Democrats. And then you have the Coos County Forward group, the elite of the elites, who
South Coast Forward.
Yeah, South Coast Forward, the elite of the elites who are pushing the usually Democrat candidates. And then you got Republican senators endorsing Democrats. And we're sitting around wondering, well, gee, I can't figure out why we can't get any Republicans elected in a Republican county. I mean, shit, man.
Yeah.
Yep, it's true.
So, Danessa, you want to report on stuff, and I can share your screen or I can put it up on my screen if you want to do that.
Did we go over the Douglas County stuff? Isn't
That's what we're
Todd?
asking. Janessa. Michaela. I'm sorry, Michaela. Could you go over some of the Douglas County
Yeah.
wins and losses?
Are you going to share it on your screen or?
I can share it on my screen. I'm at the very top. Can you Can you see that? Nope. No, you can't. Let me do that. How's that?
County. Oh, there we go. Okay,
There.
cool. Okay, so let's see. Steve Loosely, that was uncontested. Let's see. We didn't put anybody up for Lane Community College that I know of. We already went through Southwestern Oregon. Let's see. Okay, Umpqua Community College. All of those were uncontested, I believe. Douglas ESD, though, that one, Elaine Lavington was the Republican. It looks like she's pretty far behind. That's disappointing.
Yeah, hold on though, Danessa. Before, and I'm going to go right back to this, but I want to go right to the top of the screen. Look at that, 9.78%.
Yeah, go scroll down really slow because I think
Okay.
I saw. Okay, Lane. Oh boy, you're going real fast, Lane. So so you have Lane Community College and Umpqua. Is there any other ones there?
There's Lane. There's another candidate.
Lane. There's Lane. A lot of colleges.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, right there. Look, I think you're doing better in Douglas County.
You are doing better.
You're
And
doing
you're
what
only
better.
at 9% reporting. And like I said, I guarantee you the majority of the ones coming in the end are going to be conservatives. This may be all right. It's all right.
The Democrats went door to door here in Coos County for sure,
But you didn't
and
even
spread all sorts of bullshit.
You never went to Reedsport or Winchester.
I mean, I know people out there for sure, but
Look
yeah.
at this.
Oh
Rick
my
is
God, look
actually
at this.
winning.
Rick lives up in Hauser, so he definitely knows people out
Oh
that
my,
way.
look at that.
Oh, that is cool.
And I'm doing better too in Douglas County.
There you
Wow.
go, Danessa.
Wow, I might win in Douglas County.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
We'll separate the district. Well, I think that's cool. If you win the largest county, that's cool. You may still lose the election, but if you win the largest county, yeah, that's cool.
And you know what? Maybe we didn't need to put those signs out in Curry and Coos County.
Well, yeah, we should have just gone to Douglas. Okay, Michaela, I'm at Umpqua. No one's running. Okay,
Yeah,
Douglas.
those are contested. Elaine Lavington looks like she's behind. That's the Republican. Next up, so Tracy Sullivan and Samantha Frost are both Republicans, and unfortunately, it looks like that may have messed that up.
Split the vote, huh?
Split the vote. Well, Sam had asked everybody to vote for Tracy. They both filed on the last day, so it appeared that this was going to be an uncontested race with a Democrat, and both of them filed, didn't know the other one had filed, and so they both ended up on the ballot. So,
Oh wow.
yeah, that's an unfortunate problem, but it is what it is. Well, maybe Tracy will pull ahead. That's not a ton of votes. I mean, look at
That's
that.
nothing. That is nothing.
So she
Mike
could still
Kaiser.
pull ahead. Okay, so we got some more
Is
uncontested.
Mike Kaiser? Is that right?
I do not know Mike Kaiser, but I do know Richard Vandervelden. He's a
Okay.
registered Republican.
Okay, well, he won that solidly. And Rose Wild.
I don't know Rose either.
Do you know any of these three?
South Coast Education Service District. No, this one I think is very minimal. Douglas County. Yeah, it looks like it's only 396 votes. So was that Lane ESD. That was only 3 votes. So these are not, there aren't very many people in Douglas County in these districts. Same thing with Camas Valley.
Camas Valley, Sherry Thrush, Tracy Hadley. Wow, she killed it. I don't know who the Sherry Thrush is, but she killed it.
113 votes.
Yeah. That's going to change. That'll
And then
change.
Dave's Creek, what's going on with this? There's no candidate filed for this position?
For Camus?
No, scroll down to Dave's Creek. It's right after this. There you go.
Oh, wow.
Filed.
See, this is what I'm going to do. The next time there's an election, I'm just going to put my name, and at 4:00, I'm going to get the list of what offices nobody filed for, and then I'm just going to file for those offices, win all the elections, and then build my career on that. I had all these wins.
Aren't you in Days Creek, Todd? Todd, aren't you in Days?
Oh, you're on mute, Todd.
You're muted, Todd.
Yeah, I'm a school board member at Days Creek. What position is it? Oh, 3. So we did a write-in in position 3. Everybody did a write-in. Michael Connor should win that.
Okay. And then what about position 7?
We did a write-in on that. Clint Thompson, who already held the position, he didn't really want to come back, but because nobody ran for the position, we wrote him in too.
Oh, we're going to just volunteer your ass. I see.
He agreed that he would do it if there were nobody ran.
Perfect.
Did he step forward, or did everyone else just step backwards? I'm not sure.
Yeah. This is the story. This is the story on these elections. Nobody even wants to do it.
No, nobody wants to do it. Okay, I'm at Elkton School District, and God, what are they?
About this one, Todd? I think both of those might be Democrats.
Who's that?
In Elkton, do you know for these ones?
I don't know. I don't know anybody in those districts. No.
Yeah, I don't either.
I don't either.
Elkton's a good school, though. It's a good school. It's got a good reputation.
How about the Fern Ridge School District? You know anyone there?
We have 0 votes. I don't know.
Oh, they haven't even been reported on yet.
Yeah.
Oh, Loomis is behind. Glide School, Glendale School. There's nobody
all
running against.
contested. Yeah, I think these are all Republicans, or they would be contested. They have a pretty strong coalition in Glide. Let's see, North Douglas.
Position 5.
I don't know that one either.
Okay, here's Reedsport. Okay, let me see. Did I skip? No. Okay, here's Reedsport. You got any? There should be some Republicans running up there, you would think.
Reedsport is difficult. They actually they lean very heavily Democrat. Let me see if I have.
Yeah, they were taken over by FEMA pretty much. That whole town is captured by FEMA.
Yeah. Okay.
How did FEMA get in there?
So Reedsport. Hey, go back to Reedsport, position 2. Where is that one? There
You got
it
it right there. Position 2.
Kim Clardy is the Republican. Oh, good. She won. Well, that's good. Finally, some good news.
Lordy, Miss Clardy. I think that's the first Miss Clardy I ever. You've heard that expression, Lordy, Miss Clardy.
Oh my goodness.
You remember that one, Todd? Come on, you're old enough.
Yeah, I didn't know it was Miss Clardy though.
I thought it was Miss Clardy.
I remember the song.
I think Rob's making stuff up.
And Erwin Hackett was a Republican. He won, but it's uncontested. Jonathan Woody's a Republican. Brandon Bishop's a Republican. Keith Kubik's Republican, and Kremitz. Those are all uncontested, but that's great. We kept our Republican school board for Roseburg, which is great.
Nice.
I'm seeing a very strong pattern. So if you don't have an opponent, you almost very surely win. So that's the key. That's how you do it.
That's how I got on the Days Creek School Board.
And I don't know anything about these ones. I have nothing on my little chart.
Okay.
What
I don't know.
about South Umpqua?
Well, you're passing nothing on South Lane.
Salusla.
I don't have anything on South Lane either. Mm-mm.
Okay.
We must have very little influence in those. Yeah, see, 3 votes. We have very little people.
Oh my gosh. I didn't realize I wasn't looking at the totals. 3 votes too. Yeah. Dan Loomis is a little behind here. South Umpqua. I'm on position 1.
South Umpqua, position 1, Bill Hill. Yeah, he's a Republican. I don't know who we did a write-in for, so we'll have to see. And then David Stevens is a Republican. Jeff Johnson should be, yep, he's a Republican. Let's see, Linda Graves both, Quinn, I don't know Quinn. Linda Graves was the Republican. Let's see, Quinn Pickering, I do not have on my list, which is weird. Let me look.
Because he's Quinn is winning. I don't know if it's male or female.
That is, thank you, Vote Ref. I will find out. Republican. So that was Republican versus Republican. So that was a win-win. So
Republican crime there. All these are uncontested. Okay, so district position 5, Sutherland School District.
yes. So that one, those are 2 Republicans running against each other, Michael and William. So, Jasmine Geyer ran again. Good. She's great.
Shigley Jr.
Republican.
Susan.
They're all Republicans.
Jan Kala.
Jan Kala.
Jan Kala.
Let's see.
And Twyla. I like that name too. Twyla.
Did we pass Kathy Grimes?
What's she running for?
Jan Kala.
Oh yeah, I did. I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah, she's a Republican. Let's see. Twyla, I don't know.
Twyla
McDonald is a non-affiliated.
Oh.
Which is better than a Democrat.
Better than a Democrat.
Lisa Frazier is a Republican.
How about Young? Cheryl Young.
Where are my hospital districts? Oh, I don't have that down. I don't know.
Okay. Well, they're all running uncontested.
Uncontested, yeah. Let's only do contested race. Oh, because we went to the fire district.
Another Kalapuya.
Yep, and those are a mixture of Democrats and Republicans and NAVs that you just scrolled by. Yeah. But they're all uncontested, so it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't really matter, right?
Yep, it is what it is.
Weekly. No, look at this. Days Creek Rural Fire. Nobody. We're just going to let it burn.
What's going on with Days Creek? No one signs up?
I guess not. Oh, this is an important one. And Tracy won. Yay.
Yes,
I convinced her to run the last day to file.
Oh, wow.
Was she the one who spoke at the event we were at on Friday with the doing a farm?
Yep, she's the new farmer. Yep.
All right, very cool.
That's good. Yay. We got her in there.
So is Pope in District 2? Is he also a Republican?
He is a Democrat.
Oh, good. She won.
Yeah, and then David is a Republican, and Thomas is a Republican.
No candidate. Yeah. See, I could have won all these. I don't even live there.
Glendale.
Karen Taylor. There's a lot of damn Taylors who run for office, I've noticed. Yeah. I don't know.
Well, she's a Republican. Skip is a NAV. And Fred is a Republican. Donald's a Republican. Great job.
Ashley Hicks. She's now on the fire district.
Yay! Ashley won. Glide Rural Fire. Cool. That's good to see.
Damn, you guys got a lot of A lot of taxing districts. Okay, Lakeside Rural Fire Protection. Why is that in Lane County?
It looks
Must be a
like
big
we,
district.
yeah. There's
Or they
only
have a
4.
lakeside.
So we probably have like a tiny little piece of the district, it looks like.
Looking Glass.
Yeah, I have. So James is a libertarian. Mark is a NAV. Robert is a Republican. Clint is a Republican. Tom is a NAV. Danette is a Republican. Cliff is an independent. Travis is a Republican. And Shalane is a Republican. And Myrtle Creek, let's see. Who was that? David Dunbar. I don't have David Dunbar.
The
He
name
must
sounds really familiar.
Yeah, actually, I don't have Tom Westrup either. Oh, yes, I do. I'm not looking at the right place. He's a Republican. James Rogers is a Democrat. Rhonda Sheets is. Wait, are we to? Oh, we're past that. We're at Oakland.
Yeah,
Oakland. Aaron Swan is a Republican.
Clay Baumgartner.
I don't have Clay.
He's damn lucky he didn't have an opponent. That name alone would have been a killer.
It stands out at least. He's a Republican. Good job, Clay.
Clay. All right, good job, Clay. Melvin Worcester.
Yeah, Republican.
Chuck
Chuck
Ansky.
is a Republican. Yeah.
Steve Rose.
No, I don't have these people down. They must have filed later.
Okay.
Noakes is.
Here's Iescu. I've got position 1, nobody filed.
Mm-hmm.
0 votes.
Iescu, nobody filed. 10 Mile.
10 Mile. Yeah, we have one not filed, and then Kenneth is a Republican. Alex is a Democrat. Tiller, Jim Anderson, Republican. Wes Reynolds, Republican. Dan is a independent. Jerry is a Republican. Jeremy is a non-affiliated. Another NAV. Brian McFadden is a Democrat. Janet is a Democrat. Gina is a Republican. And Gary is a NAV. Phyllis, I don't have. Why don't I have Phyllis? I don't know what Phyllis is. John is a NAV. Scott is a Republican. Winston Dillard. Oh, nobody filed for that one. What a shame.
Oh, Karen Taylor ran for ambulance, Glendale ambulance. And she
now
won.
we're ambulance. I gotta go back up there for that. Who is it? Karen Taylor. Karen is the Republican. Vicky is a Democrat. So good job, Karen. You
Good
won.
job, Karen. You rock.
Andy
We're not,
Evans.
I don't know if they won yet, but they're ahead.
They're ahead. Yeah, we shouldn't say they won, but you're ahead at the first
Yeah.
drop of the ballots. Glendale Ambulance Director, position 1, or position 4, Andy Owens Sr.
Yeah, he is a Republican. So good job, Andy. And Teresa's a Democrat. Wah, wah. And then Ridgewood. Oh, we're in water districts now. Hold on. Water. Ridgewood Water. Vicky is a Republican. Michael is a Republican. Elias is a NAV. Brett is a Democrat. Kim is a Democrat. Eric is a Democrat. Dolores is a Democrat. So sorry, Winston Dillard.
Sorry, no. That's wow. That's too bad. That's
Yeah.
too.
So what happens when people don't run? Hey, I just want to say something really quickly. When
Yes.
Colin and I were on the board of the Douglas County Republican Central Committee, we increased the number of Republicans sitting in these special district positions by an immense percentage. I think we won like 33 extra seats. At the time that we were serving on the executive board, and then a year later they kicked us out.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, Just desserts. Yeah, thank you for that. And now you can leave.
And now they're losing. So that's
Yeah. Yeah, that is just mind-boggling, and it's the same here in Coos County. It seems like the Republicans are so busy fighting each other that they're losing time and ground where the Democrats are professional and unified, and they're moving forward.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know that I had to argue with our chair? Like when I got elected as vice chair in November and December, I had meetings with him and I was like, all right, so we got this election coming up. We got to get focused on it. We got to get motivated. We got to get
Mhm.
organized. And he goes, no. It's an off year. We don't do any of that. If we try to do anything with people, they'll get burnt out. We're not going to do anything. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like it's probably the easiest to win, most important of all the elections. That because it's an off year, we should actually push harder and that's like the entry level to politics. School board, fire board. These are like entry level. We need to be recruiting new people to the party, recruiting new people who are already in the party, but to enter the political spectrum. And he's just, no, it's an off year, like over and over and over. And I was like, what? And so fast forward to now, the Republican Party of Coos County did not endorse anybody. They didn't. The only money we put into a race was the North Bend School Board race, because I motioned to have a flyer printed. Well, they had the flyer already. They were going to print it no matter what. But I motioned to have the Republican Party support it and endorse those candidates, essentially.
Yeah.
But there was no official endorsement. There was no mailing that went out, no email. We have email addresses. We have a Facebook account. No endorsement officially from the Coos County Republican Party went out to help these candidates. And like, man, what a loss.
Yes.
Well, we also had a problem the previous election cycle that our VP put out a flyer that endorsed all these candidates and had no executive vote.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
really?
like doing this endorsement without an actual vote of the committee. That's kind of what they were trying to do last minute. And it's like, no. Like, we have to vote as a committee. Like, that's why you plan these things months in advance, so we can learn who the candidates are, meet them, and then decide who we want to endorse. And yeah.
It reminds me of I think it was $25,000 that the executive board in Douglas County gave to the Umpqua Valley Republican women right before the election, where I was elected as vice chair. But they did it without a vote of the Central Committee. They did it in a board meeting, and they did it right before the power exchange happened. So all of the coffers were drained in Douglas County.
Jeez.
That was the best part of becoming vice chair.
Jeez.
Wow. It's just crazy that we have to fight about stuff like that. That shouldn't be what we're fighting for.
We have our own people cutting our legs out from underneath us. And then we go, well, why aren't we winning? Well, that's why we're not winning. Give me a break.
Yep.
So
I completely agree. So I'm back. Olala Looking Glass Water Control District. Like, anyone cares, but we got to do it because there are Republicans who are running.
Yeah, they might be watching. We care.
And we care. We care because it's important. We want Republicans on here. But the average person, they have no clue what a water control district even does. And
right. I agree with you. I don't really know what they do.
And to be honest with you, I've got an idea because I've been to a few of their meetings, but still it's a little, I'm not sure exactly what authority they have. So, and I don't know what kind of money and budget they're dealing with.
That's what it is. There's money there. That's why you need to serve in these positions, because somebody else is controlling the money if you're not. So
Stephen Rhodes, is he one of ours?
He's a Democrat.
Damn him.
But we can celebrate Colton. Good job, Colton. He's a Republican.
Good job, Colton. There you go.
And then
what a name, Colton Gow. Is that how you pronounce that? G-O-W?
Yeah, I think so.
Colton Gow. That's cool.
Tony is the Republican there. So yay, Tony won.
Well, we don't know because there's only 306 votes in there. I don't know how many's in the district, and we're still at 9%. So
that's true. Well, we got to take our wins where we can, Rob. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Can
but
you
the the total turnout will only be about 30% or so of
Probably right.
actual
Yeah.
voters.
But
Mhm.
can you believe we went from hand counting in one day to like 30, 45 days with a computer and we still
Mhm.
don't have the results?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That doesn't even make sense.
It doesn't. It should have speeded things up.
Yeah.
That sounds progressive.
And they,
So Tom's a Republican and
Okay.
Justin's an independent. Carol is a Democrat. Let's see. I don't have Erica, although I recognize that name.
didn't
Erica-
you run for a water or sewer board?
I ran for sanitary district, and I think I'm losing.
Oh, okay. We'll check. We'll have to see. Adam Sarnoski.
Let's see if I have Adam on there. No. Richard Vandervelden is the Republican.
Yay.
Summer Barranco, Republican. Juan Uruguayan is a Republican. He's pretty
Cool.
well known around here. Stan Mead is a Republican.
Stephen commented that he said anticipation is 15 to 20% turnout.
Yeah.
Wow.
No
Wow.
way. No.
Really?
It's going to be at least 36%. I'd put money on it. It's going to be 36%.
Not 35 or 36.
Okay.
No.
Are we going to take bets here?
Yes, I'm telling you, I will bet a 6-pack of booze that we're going to get 36% or better turnout for this primary, and that's because I've been covering this long enough. That's usually what we get.
I'm thinking 28. I think voters are pissed off. Don't think their vote counts.
I don't know. I think
Yeah.
I agree with that.
I think
agree.
Chris ran on such an emotional issue, that one subject issue. I don't know. I think that kind of drove people to the ballot. I don't know, especially after that Delaney thing came out.
Okay, I say 28. You're saying 36, right?
I'm saying 36.
What are you
36 or
saying,
higher.
Chris? What are you saying?
I said 30.
30. God, this is like
writing
the
it
Price
down.
is Right. Okay, I'm writing them down.
Todd,
Okay,
where are you at?
What are you saying, Todd?
I say 33.
33 is Todd.
And a
Okay.
third. 33 and a third.
Okay, Michaela.
Is it bad if I'm really pessimistic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Just say 1%.
I think it's 25. I think people that would normally get out there are so thrilled that Trump's in there and they don't think they have to do the work anymore. That's what I think.
That would be a legitimate reason. I could see that. Your argument there, I think, could be we've got a hero in the White House. We don't need, and that's the worst thought of all. That's actually self-defeating.
Well, I'll tell you something. When I went to the courthouse, I saw the mailman coming with his little box. It wasn't even half full. The little carrier thing.
Yeah.
So not too happy about that. And that's general courthouse mail.
Well, whoever's buying the booze, we're having the party at Todd's house.
Okay.
Oh, yeah?
Which is good.
Whoever wins gets some booze. Is that what it is?
That's what Rob
Did
was
any of us win?
Yeah. I was betting a 6-pack. Whoever there's how many of us? Yeah, I'll buy you all a beer.
Oh, yeah.
That's almost a 6-pack.
Did I miss Todd's race? What were Todd's results?
Oh no, we haven't gotten to that yet. So we're
Yeah,
at Winchester Water Control, and Stan Mead.
Stan's a Republican. Kurt is a Republican. Kevin is a Republican. Good job, guys.
Good job, Winchester. Very good for that one. Lower Umpqua Library District.
Libraries. So I have Leon is a NAV. Anne is a NAV. Candy is a Democrat. Stephanie is a NAV. Mike is a NAV. Lots of non-affiliated voters. Interesting. I didn't have anybody for that one. So Dominic is an independent. Emily is a NAV. Shannon is an independent. And Jamie is a Republican. Great job, Jamie. Woohoo.
Good job, Jamie.
Okay.
Southern Valley Recreation. Ooh.
That's Sutherland. So I don't have anybody for these. They must all be write-ins. Let's
They're
see.
all write-ins, and then the last one for
Somebody.
position 4 is Krista.
I don't have Krista on my list. Sorry, Krista.
Jan Carla, Kala Park and Rec, Jennifer
Park and
Rincon.
Jennifer is a Democrat. Let's see. Doris is the Republican. Yay, Doris!
Yay! Winning so far. Winning so far.
And then, Allison is actually a Republican too. So either way, we win. Good job, Allison.
Oh, okay.
Registering for Republican.
Tom Brost.
Oh, now we're in sanitary. Hold on, let me move down to sanitary. Gardner.
Oh yeah, now we're gonna get to your election, right?
Oh yeah. So Tom's a Democrat. Let's see. Clay is a Democrat. Dan is a Democrat. That is not good for Gardner. Sorry, you guys. Glide. Let's see. Janice is a Republican. I don't know who they did for write-in. Robert should be next, and he's a Republican. Good job, Robert.
Good job, Robert.
Victoria is a Democrat. Green. Let's see. Tracy is a Democrat. Stephen is an independent. Caroline is a NAV. And John Dunn is a Republican. Great job, John. Oh, there's my race.
Oh, she's a rhino. That Michaela's a rhino.
You know, she's been kicked out of the Republican Party in disgrace.
I
can understand that. I like it. I like election night. We turn it into a roast all of a sudden.
Boom, roasted. No, these are such early results. I think this is about a third of the results.
I totally agree.
Look at this though. Look up above. That's also Roseburg Urban Sanitary. Total votes 1597. Mine is 1837. This next one is 1511. So what is that? Like 300 and something votes?
320 some odd votes. Yeah, 326.
About the difference between winning and losing.
20% more. So that's more understandable. But when we were looking at the Coos County ones, it was a 50% increase in a contested race. That's crazy big difference. This is only a 20% increase versus a non-contested race.
Non-contested, and then you got the contested race, and more people voted in that.
Would that makes sense, but of a large number, I mean, this is still outside the realm of what you would expect. I mean, it's kind of right on the fence, but 50%, going from 1,200 to 2,100 votes, contested versus non-contested, that's wild.
That's wild. That was wild.
Yep, I agree. Well, we'll have to keep a close eye on that. Okay, Tri-City, let's see. Jeremy is a NAV, and Joe is a Republican, and Brett is a Democrat, and Kim is a Democrat.
Oh, boy.
That looks like husband and wife on Union Gap Sanitary. Probably husband and wife right there.
Yeah.
So.
Great.
Highly suspicious that they both got 6 votes. Highly suspicious.
6 votes. Yeah, I'm telling you, they're
At least they match.
There's probably 6 people in their family, and they voted for each other.
Oh.
Exactly.
Well, good for them for starting up a district.
There you go.
Winchester Bay Sanitation.
I don't have any, so write-ins unknown. We'll have to wait for those.
Unknown. Riddle Cemetery Maintenance. I don't know if you actually win this district.
So Ryan is a non-affiliated voter, and he's the only one that ran for it.
I'm sorry, what was he? Is he a Republican?
He's a NAV.
He's a NAV. There are a lot of NAVs.
Yeah. He's
Oh,
doing what
Kathy.
he just wants to
Oh,
do.
here we go. Uh-oh.
Here's UPTD. Okay.
Hey,
where's
Todd.
the station?
Todd.
So we
Wow,
are,
look how close that is. That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
yeah. So Kathy,
It's like 70 votes.
yeah,
We needed Kathy.
I
There you
know.
go, Todd. Thank you. We needed a win.
Yeah,
I'm telling you,
I
this
don't,
is
You're
I
our
don't know that
hero.
that's going to be a win.
Get that man a beer.
Yeah, he needs a drink.
Todd did not campaign at all, really, though. I mean, he doesn't have
That's how
signs.
he won.
Natasha's signs are
Yeah, exactly.
everywhere. They're everywhere. Like, even in places they're not supposed to be.
Yeah, but
So-
you know what Todd did do? Todd knocked on a lot of damn doors during the
Todd-
primary.
He has great name recognition.
Yeah.
He has I mean, people know who he is. They know that he's a editorialist. They know that he's a logger. they know.
He's been
You know?
branded. He's
Yeah,
been
he has
branded.
been. I know.
That's pretty
That's
good.
loggers in him.
He's even
Let's
got
see.
a cartoon.
A lot of people just like assholes in this county is all it really is.
I'm
Greg
moving to
Hunter
Douglas
won.
County.
Yay, Greg.
Yay! He needed a win.
And then John Estill, that we were pulling for him. I don't know if he can make up that. What is it, 700 votes?
Why would they call me?
So we'll
Well-
see. But once again, there's an increased total number of votes there for his race. It looks like.
Okay.
Yeah. If we're just looking
gonna
at
have-
the results, it looks like it's a pretty close election.
You're going to have to mute him.
I'm trying to.
what a
Where is he
goof.
at? Damn it. Oh, there he is. I'll mute
I
him.
think he's
Okay.
standing on his head.
Yeah, I got it. No problem.
Oh God.
That's weird because that's another one that has a 500 vote. Well, yeah. Wait a minute. No, that wasn't the one I was looking at. Yeah, between this one and that one, it's much closer. Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. My
But again, like that difference makes sense to me. Like it's
Yes.
it's not a lot.
Yeah.
10-20%,
Mhm.
but 50%.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a lot.
we have a lot of hanging chads in our county.
I think Ashley's is the one that's crazy though. Yeah, look at that. 7,100 versus 60 what?
Popular race.
1,000 votes, which is pretty crazy.
Was Phil Morton a Democrat or Republican?
He's a Democrat and Ashley's the Republican. Yeah.
Why is there over? Was it 1,000 differential?
Yeah, that's like 1,000 difference.
That's weird.
I know. I think so too. Yeah. Compare how many. Okay. Ashley got 3,000 votes. Go back up. How many did Todd get? John got almost the same. Todd got 3,400. Okay. Because they both ran for Senate, so they do have some name recognition. Okay, let's see. Where were we?
Okay, Ashley Hicks, we've done that one. Now we're at the Bar El Ranch Road District.
Now, do I have roads on here? I don't know. Oh, yes, I do. Bar El Ranch. Paul Hamilton is a Republican.
He won.
And Leslie is a Libertarian. We
He
like
won.
Libertarians around here.
Mhm. We're good. We're good with that. Hutchinson.
Let's see. Patricia is a NAV. And Charles, is he next? Yep, Charles is a Republican. Then we have a contested race, I think. Oh, maybe not. No, ignore me.
Stein.
Stein is a Republican. And Jean is a NAV.
Raccoon Road District.
Yeah.
And then Mary is a Republican. So we got some Republicans in there. Great
And no
job.
candidates filed for Sunshine Acres, Sunshine. Acres. Oh, here you go. Coquille River Port.
Okay, Port District. Let's get over to
0%. 0%. Danessa. This may be good for you. You never know.
Why would we be in Douglas County?
those.
Because
You only have a small number of people in there. Did they turn, and nobody turned their ballots in? Look at that, 0 votes.
0 votes.
Yeah, so whoever is in that district didn't vote. That's not good. Okay, Port of Umpqua, Rhonda Black. Oh, no. Hold on. Who's this? I don't know Donna Train. Why don't I have her on my list?
Port of Umpqua.
Rhonda is a Democrat, so that's not good.
Oh, no.
And Randall.
Black and Yates?
Randall I couldn't find, though. I don't know who he is. So that was interesting. Thomas Black is a Democrat, too.
Damn.
So Port of Umpqua is not doing great.
That was it.
Your crew, okay. Cool. Well, that's Douglas County.
How often do they update these things?
Now this will be dropped again at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, every 2 hours.
Okay.
Well, the results were dropped before 8 o'clock. I don't know what the law is about that, but they were available on the Douglas County website before 8 p.m. So maybe we'll get another early drop.
Let's see. Let me go back to the county website and go back to the unofficial. No, it's still the same unofficial totals, but
Oh, I'm at 13.55% though. If you refresh.
What were
okay,
we up before?
9.
Yeah, 9.9%.
9%.
Oh,
Now here's the
14.37 now. Okay,
yeah. So here,
good.
let's go down here. Look at this. This is going to be different. Do you guys see these numbers?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, but those are that's the total that we had. The total ballots cast 6,700.
But the Secretary of State was only registering 9%. This is 13% here overall turnout.
No, that was 9% for Douglas County.
Okay. Oh, you're right. Maybe that was 9%. Or was it? Now let me see.
I remember reading 6,700 for the ballot totals for Coos County. Play back the tape.
Roll back the tape. Okay. Well, Phil is still kicking butt no matter what here. And South Coast Education, Danessa still, it's not that bad. It's gotten better. Yeah, it was better than the Secretary of State's totals.
Where's Vanessa?
A little farther down.
A little further down right there.
Oh, there she is. I see it.
This is only 13% turnout. Yeah, this ain't nothing. It's I think we'll get more. I think we'll get a lot more because, like I said, just like you said, it's more conservatives wait to vote. So
yeah, who voted today? Did you guys vote today? I did.
I did.
Yeah, I did.
I got my
All
little
the conservatives I know voted today. I mean,
I
there was
voted
maybe a handful of people before, but we
Hold
went
on.
black.
We went black there for a minute. I'm sorry. I'm pushing buttons again. I was trying to, supposedly I'm supposed to be able to show the comments on the screen. They got this new thing, but it says add comments to the stage. It's not working for me. So I don't know what I got to do to get that to work. What?
Don't you just click on them like before? Or is it something new?
It's something new where I can like add comments to the screen, the whole comment scroll. Where, like usually I can, right now I'm going to go through some of the comments here. Paylene says, oh, this isn't good. If some of these people stay in, tired of the same crap, we need different people in. Hopefully Chris, Phil, and other people I voted for will win. And
looks like Phil's going to win.
Looks like Phil's going to win. We like Phil. Did a good job. Let's see. Pete says,
Did we look at the hospital? Is Cribbins winning?
No, Cribbins was not. Uno was winning, and Kyle Stevens was winning, and then Brandon Sada and Simon Alonso were losing.
I didn't. Did we go? I didn't see that on the.
I didn't see it either.
Or no, sorry, Salmon Alonso's winning. Brandon Sada's losing. Kyle Stevens winning. John Uno winning. John Uno was running against Troy Cribbins.
Here we go. Here we go. Here's the Bay Area Hospital. Let me make sure. Yeah, Bay Area Hospital. Yeah, Simon Alonso's winning for position 3.
A lot of people on that one.
Arlie
Four.
Robles.
4 candidates.
I can't believe people would be voting for Mark Daly.
Is it scrolling on for other people? We're just seeing
Yeah.
like a waiting symbol just spinning.
Are you?
Or is-
I can see it. Can you
I
see
can
it,
see it.
folks?
I can
Oh,
see it.
then it's just me. All I see is a little whatever.
It's better that way.
Probably, yeah. I can't take any more.
I
Make
can't
it
take-
stop.
So Kyle Stevens is winning. John Uno is winning, and Brandon Sada is losing. So it looks like what I predicted. I'm willing to bet this is going to happen when all this is said and done. Is that they're going to have a broken slate? They'll have 2 from one slate and 2 from or 1 from the other. I'm just got a feeling that's what happens when they run these slates.
I think
People-
they'll pull through.
I don't know. We'll see. See, like I said, only 13%. That's nothing. That's nothing. Yeah. So I let's let me quickly look at let me go back here and share this screen and look at Curry County, because Curry County had South Oregon College. Look, they have 34% right there.
Yeah. Well, and if you go back to that screen you were on before and do shared county, city, and district races, you can look at all of the votes for Southwestern Oregon at the same time.
So I was just talking to the news review, you guys. They just called and were wanting to talk about the election and UPTD and what's going on and what my take on the election. They're obviously the election's not over, so it's kind of hard to
Right.
talk about what's going on. But he thought that most likely the results that we're seeing were going to hold. I don't know what gave him that opinion, especially in my race against Natasha, because it's right there. But he said, so John Estill's probably going to win, and Greg is obviously going to win, and then you and I, so we will still have control of the board if I beat Natasha.
I don't know if John's gonna win. He's behind a little bit.
Yeah.
The news review guys got him ahead.
Oh, well, they have the insider info, I'm sure.
Your news review.
Yeah, because I said, I told him, I said, well, I just looked at John Estill. He's one of our group, and he was behind. He goes, no, I'm looking right at it. I got him ahead.
Interesting. Well, they do have connections to the powers that be, so I wouldn't be surprised if they know something we don't know. So that's interesting. I mean, what it really comes down to is we'll work through whatever it is that, whatever people we have to work with, those are the people we'll work with. And, Todd and I are very reasonable people. We're very nice and friendly to other people, and we'll be happy to work with whoever the voters vote for. We already saved the district. We're handing them something that's already fixed. Here you go.
That is true. I mean, in essence, it's in a better condition than the way you received it.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's
So I see Ashley just checked in. Where's Ashley's race? I never did see that.
she wasn't.
She's
She
a
was
little
in the
bit
lead.
behind, but she received quite a few votes, though, over 3,000, which I think is, besides you, Todd, she's received the most on the slate.
Yeah.
What
A lot
about
of children
John?
winning.
I'm telling you, John, that guy from the news review just said John was winning.
Not by my count.
Yeah, and then Ashley is winning for Glide Rural Fire District, though. So
Yeah.
I'm excited
Yeah,
about
see,
that one.
and look at this. When I
Cool.
go to the, let me put this on screen here. When I go back to the Douglas County, it's still sitting at 9%.
Yeah, me too.
How can there be a Curry County 36% and Douglas is 9 and we're what
Because
are we 13?
they're more efficient than the what it is that the clerk in Curry County is more efficient than the clerks in Coos and Douglas, I would say.
They should be hand counting by precinct and it'd already be done.
And it'd already be done.
Is it just because they have a smaller population?
I
Or
don't
is
know.
or is it they're stalling more because they know they need to make up the votes?
Oh, well, that's an interesting proposition.
So
Danessa?
that is an interesting proposition. So Coos County on the Secretary of State is now reporting what they're reporting on the clerk's website here in Coos County. It's at 13%.
Okay.
And then, like I said, Curry County is at the 34%. I'm willing to bet. I told you it'll hit 36% or more by tomorrow. Yeah.
I think you were able to get the comments. I see Steven's comment also up on the screen. I think you were able to get it.
Oh
Or
yeah.
maybe that's just for me.
Yeah, no, you got it. But I meant the whole scroll. They could on the screen there would actually be a scroll on the side of the screen with all the comments that you see.
I think it's starting now, so any new comment will just probably plop up on the screen, I think is what it'll do.
Oh, that's kind of neat. I like that feature.
Todd
I
Vaughn
know,
was on
Todd.
the edge of my seat. Yeah, I know, me too, Steve.
So exciting.
It's
almost
so
a
exciting.
Senate race. Almost just fun.
Oh yeah.
I wonder what Phil Taylor told her and who he was talking to. That was quite a few minutes ago. Ashley Hicks has so many districts without a candidate running. Perhaps next elections, others will consider running. And like I said, you can wait till 4:00, the last day that you can register. Go find out which districts are being uncontested, and you can win just by filing at that time.
Yep.
Let's see. Steve says anticipation is 15 to 20% turnout.
Wow.
He's weighing in on our bet.
Oh, okay. So there you is it
He-
15 or 20? You got
Yeah, he's got to give us a hard number. I've got it all written down.
Oh, he
It's a
says,
solid 17 and a half.
he says I'll take the under 15%.
15%. Is this
I think
how
he was
much
saying
Price is Right?
he was taking the under on your 36.
Oh, okay. All right. Maybe that's what it was. Okay. Steve,
He's buying everybody a beer. That's what's happening.
Trump is a tourniquet. He ain't fixing our problems. That's why I love all you guys. I love you, Steve, too. Yeah. Appreciate that. Jeff P says, pretty sure she hated mine. Oh, I know what they're talking about. Jeff Pete was really going after Marcia Jensen, who, let me tell you, she comes off as this nice prom old lady, but she's a real cold bitch, okay? I've seen her comments on Facebook, and she can be a real cold bitch. I don't care what anyone says. So,
Well,
Jeff
you know
Pete,
what she reminds me of? She reminds me of Melissa Cribbins. I think she's part witch.
ooh.
Thanks, Petey. Thanks,
I
Mr.
think-
Petey.
Go Todd. Yeah. Yeah, I think she might
I
be part
concur.
of that coven of Coos County or Curry County.
I see the comment here on the bottom of the screen you were talking about, Chris.
Yeah, it is down
It's
there.
really teeny.
It's really
I thi-
teeny down there.
I think what'll happen is the next comment, if somebody wants to try it out, audience members, you can participate. It'll pop up the next one right under it. Is
Interesting.
what I think it'll do.
Well, you can't read that. They got to fix that. Yay for Todd, said John. Well, John, according to the
Hey John, hey John, I just talked to the News Review, and the guy I talked to on the phone said you were winning. It doesn't look like it on the screen though.
Steven's our man. He made it happen.
he made it happen. Look, see, and now you can see 2 comments there, but you can't read any of that.
Yeah, I don't even have a magnifying glass small enough to read it.
I'm under 40, so I can read it.
Oh man, that was a dig.
So how many elections did you lose tonight?
2. Shit.
All roasting again. We're all that infighting.
Exactly.
There's losing, and then there's like landslide losing. So
Yeah.
I'm in a whole different category. You know what I'd rather, though? If it was close, I'd be, I wouldn't be able to sleep. I'd rather it just be gone.
One of the worst campaigns I ever ran was when I had Janie Germán in the race to take out Sid Lycan, who was the mayor of Springfield, for Peter DeFazio's position. This was in the Republican primary. And we fought for a year, got rid of this mayor, got rid of this rhino. He was a David Brock Smith rhino, and we got rid of him. And 4 days before the last day you could sign up, Art Robinson jumps in the race. And he tore us up. I mean, the signs went from Janie Germán red to Art Robinson blue overnight. And at the end of the day, and he had the guy had an astronaut. I forget which astronaut traveled with him. I mean, how am I supposed to compete with an astronaut? You know what I mean? This is hard to have candidates who can compete on this type of level with Art Robinson, who already had a built-in crew of people. And he had these huge sign making machines. I lost that election 80%, 80 to 20%. And let me tell you, that drive home from Roseburg, that was the longest drive I ever had. I mean, I felt like I was just, how do you come back from something like that? So I know where you've been.
It is rough.
That's funny. Though, like there are things, right? Like I could have gone and worked harder. I could have knocked on more doors. We could have done more stuff in print, more signs. We could have, I could have attended more events that are maybe across the aisle and reached out to more non-affiliated and independents. I mean, I do a lot, right? Like, and
Right.
You've had us on the podcast, and I have my own, and we do a lot of social media stuff, but that only hits a certain subset of the population. So definitely an opportunity to look at like what could we have done better. Like my commissioner race, I went business to business, like in every town, and talked to business owners, and I did not do that this time, and I should have. So
you eliminate, if you don't have any money, like you said, you got to get a ground game. We needed more volunteers. We should have went the problem with the college district, that's a huge district. That's a large district to be able to go door to door. And that means it's also expensive if you want to do a mailer for that entire district. So that's a hard one, because to campaign for that, but that's the only thing you can do is really get people out on the street, knocking on doors, or like you said, you going to more crossover events. But what timeline did we have for you to do that? And it's in the middle of winter. There's not a lot of events for you to go to.
Yeah.
Well, I know. I'm just saying I could have tried harder for sure. There's always things you can do different.
We were competing against 3 candidates that had websites with Anadot on them, all canned, all ready to go.
Yep.
They had a huge budget for signs. The things I think we were efficient at is that we cut our costs. We all were underneath the campaign finance requirement. I think it's under $1,500. We ran based off of more Facebook, I would say, is word of mouth, and some of your storylines. I would say going to the campus and stuff, that was brilliant. Figuring out really the underbelly of the problems and the culture at this college, and that was
The
very
thing,
effective.
the thing was, Danessa, he did a brilliant video. I think that video was great. The problem is we were limited to social media, and somehow we needed to get that video out to a larger crowd, and I don't know how to do that. That's how do you know what I mean? I guess we could have paid for advertising and put it on YouTube and stuff, but you're still limited on social media. I don't
I
know.
just think for this special district election, people really vote on recommendations. And we don't have the machine that the Democrats have out there with the buildup of trust to be able to give a recommendation. And that's what we got to work on. And it might take 10 years to turn that around, but I'm invested in seeing it through. You know, we've got to build trust with our conservative population as a party, and rebuild that trust, and then get it out there to the people, get those recommendations, get those people out there. Otherwise, yeah, this is what's going to happen.
Yeah. And that's sad. And that puts, like I said, that puts my putting blame on the party. But like you said, that's only part of it. We have to take some of the blame because there was a lot more we could have done. And there always is in every campaign, but we've got lives. You know what I mean? We're going to meetings nonstop. Chris, you're at every damn meeting. It seems like in the freaking county. We lost.
Try to be. Or even if I'm not there, I end up watching it on YouTube afterwards.
Yeah. Even if that's me too. Even if I'm not at the meetings, I'm watching them and stuff. And Michaela, I don't know where you find the time now that you're in a district, the transportation district.
I don't know where I find the time, honestly. I'm like, give me another thing. Let's see. How many plates can I spin at the same time?
Steve, your hubby made a good point. He says, if there is one thing we learned from the DBS primary, snail mailers by elections, for every vote DBS got, it cost him 6 times as much as every Todd Vaughn vote. And that is true. See, he got out direct mailers. What was it, like 20 of them?
Wow.
9 or 10. I got 9.
Yeah.
I learned more about what an absolute asshole I am from David Brocksmith's mailers than I ever got to hear from my wife.
Ashley saying that she had a good phone call with the reporter. Ashley, are you saying that he told you, did he tell you won or anything? Let me see.
What is this reporter thing? We don't have that in Coos County.
Yeah, who was it? Who was it, Todd?
I can't remember his name. He told me, but I spaced it. Sorry.
Oh, it wasn't Winklemeyer.
It wasn't Winklemeyer. It wasn't Winklemeyer or Winkle-Dinkle or whatever his name is.
Oh boy.
I just can't.
Might have been Winkle-Dinkle. It wasn't Winkle-Dinkle. No, it wasn't him.
Oh my God.
We've lost Michaela.
What the hell is going on there?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, they got a reporter for the News Review that gave us some bad press. His name was Winkle-Dinkle.
Stop it.
It was Pat Moore.
Trouble.
It was Pat Moore. So you guys are way off with Winkle-Dinkle. That sounds like a former city manager. Pat Winkle. Winkle-Dinkle. That's a good one. So Ashley says, this is what Ashley says. She says, I told them about how the state elected officials blocked a group of new candidates to run against the current board, how they inherited a thriving and in compliance transit board.
Yeah.
Yep.
They did. Yep.
Former city narcotics.
Amazing.
What is she talking about there, Michaela?
She's just talking about exactly what happened, which is that, we had a great board that, put UPTD back together, and then the powers that be put together a slate of candidates and used their power to oust the people who fixed UPTD. And it's sad that that happened because supposedly most of these people are Republicans and they went to the Republican Party and they got, you know, their support there at the Republican Party. And it's just, there's, you know, it's dirty politics is what it is. And it's dirty politics within the county party. And it needs to be cleaned up, but it won't be because there are elected officials that want a certain type of Republican in power. And that certain type of Republican doesn't question them when that, you know, representative or senator threatens you, you know, you fall in line. And if you don't, you get recalled. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's just damn depressing. And like I said, I think we still haven't really found out the true results until this final drop, which we're 30 minutes away from that. And I think that the numbers will change drastically here in Coos County. And I think overall, I think that SWAC district will change immensely. But the thing is like you said, we've got Republicans who are working to keep Republicans out of the damn party. And that's just, I mean,
not even just the party, out of politics,
out of politics,
any office.
Yep.
They need to go.
Yeah,
David Brock Smith, you've got to go, man. I don't even know you. You've got to go. Like, what the hell? What kind of animal are you? Doesn't make sense, man.
We had the great privilege when we were on the executive board of you know, putting some articles in the News Review. And one of the articles that we put in the News Review was about the political class. So this is the real issue that we're having in our local Republican Party is there's a political class that are running the program, and they don't really want grassroots or populist candidates, we the people kind of candidates, coming out of the whatever, you know, the normal citizens coming like yourself, Chris, like myself, like all of us. They don't want people like us coming out of nowhere with a true devotion to serve the public, because they're doing things that you can't afford to have honest people in the midst of. That's really what it comes down to. Same thing in Washington, D.C. It's the same thing everywhere. It's like when you've got your program going on and there's things you don't want anybody to know about, you can't have Joe Public coming in and intermingling with you and actually doing what he's doing with a true heart of public service. That's the last thing the good old boys club wants. And that's exactly what we got going. You can put it any way you want. So there's no way to unsplit that. If you're a populist and you believe in we the people, and I know you are, Chris, and I am, all of us are. If that's where you're coming from, there is no way the people that currently hold power want us in office. Period. It's just the way it is. They don't want us to be there. So we're going to have to overwhelm them with populists.
And you know, the evidence is in the election results when you have more Democrats who are winning in Republican counties. There's something wrong with that. When you've got 60% of the people voting for Trump, and then you get a slate of Democrats running for the college, and if they win, it's only a testament to how disorganized the local party is and how much there is some, like you said, and we all know it, we've seen it with the powers that be, this elitist, and it's like the Democrat political elitist and the Republican political elitists, they're like this. They're commingling it all. And I mean, you know, you can see it back in Salem when you've got Virgil Osborne and Court Boyce and David Brock Smith partying with Val Hoyle. They're in their office having a good old time and partying, and everyone smiles and giggles. You know, I would be caught dead before I'd be smiling and giggling with my opponent. You know what I mean? That just doesn't seem proper.
It's changing, you guys. This thing is changing slowly. It's changing everywhere. And what the problem we're having here in Southwestern Oregon, and especially in Douglas County, it's happening in counties all over the United States. What we're dealing with is not an unusual thing. It's a very routine thing but especially in blue states, it's extra hard in blue states, you guys, because of just what Rob just said. The Republican Party in blue states, the only way that they can bring money back to their constituents is to work directly with the Dems. So the Republican Party elite is sold out to the Dems. So this is all a problem, but it's not just our problem. This is happening throughout the country. I watched War Room. There's other counties that are winning this battle that we're in, and the populists are taking over. The grassroots is taking over areas, and there's other areas where the establishment is dealing with them in a way that just like what our elected officials have dealt with us. So it's happening both ways, but we're not alone in this battle, you guys, and not at all.
And you know, just the fact of the people I've talked. Did I knock him off the air? Todd, where are you? Oh, but to what I was going to say is that I've talked to a lot of people today, and they are very appreciative of all that we're doing. Everyone was saying the same thing. Thank you for being out there. We want to thank you guys for continuing this fight. We want to thank you guys for letting us know what's happening. We lost Nesta too. Here's Todd. Maybe we can get him on. You know, he is out in Tiller. I don't know if that your computer out there. What can I say? It's.
I just got shut off, and then I came back to the beginning and got back on. So I don't know what happened. That's weird.
We'll go with
it. How much better you are at using technology than you used to be. You just
There
got
Oh yeah,
This is incredible.
I'm a real weird kid.
This is gross.
So Ashley Hicks says the county commissioners and state governments want full control over incoming state and federal transportation dollars. Now they have it.
Yep.
And so, yeah.
Well, it's a bad omen for the transportation package that is going to secretly be passed, I'm sure. So.
Yeah. And that's coming up soon. That's going to happen soon. Because the legislature, they go out of session in June 9th. Gosh, I forget what it is. Delilah, and I haven't seen Delilah in a long time, and I hope I see Delilah at the next Republican meeting, because that's going to be happening here in Coos County. Dahlia, I am so sorry.
I think
yeah,
so.
it's right.
Dahlia.
It's right. Yeah, Dahlia. And
Delilah's the radio show host. Delilah. Smooth jazz.
And so Dahlia Grossman, she's I've known her for a while. We've been going to the Republican parties, and so I'll be glad to see her. But she says those beautiful flyers didn't get to us until May 17th. Way too late. What flyer is she talking about? Do you know?
For the North Bend City School Board. It was one side was for the 4 North Bend school board members, and then the back side was for Swak and Phil Taylor.
Why so late?
We didn't vote on it until the April meeting, which was like the last week in April, and then it had to go to print, and then it had to get in the mail. So yeah, pretty crazy.
This is the problem with the way that the parties work is all of these meetings should be set up on a calendar that follows the election calendar. And it should be the same way with all the counties should meet at the same time. Then they should go to the state party, and they should be able to endorse candidates for the state party as well. But there is just, I don't know why. I mean, it seems like such a basic thing. Just follow the election calendar and set all of your meetings according to it. And we just don't. There's no organization.
Well, there is, though. It is organized. It's organized against us. It's organized in the way that they seem to want it. They seem to want it to be this way, where the Democrats so easily sweep these elections, and we don't have any sort of coordination. But it's like, right? How hard is it to think just a couple months ahead of time? If you're going to do it anyway, right? Like they put out a mailer for North Bend. We did it. We paid for it. We put it out. Why did we not do that in like early March? I mean, those candidates filed the first day. I think it was February, whatever. We knew that they were 4 incumbents. We knew that they were going to be. Why did we not have a mailer going out early? I offered to do videos for them because their opponents had Facebook ads, like 30-second Facebook, and they were good. They were well done and professional. I mean, mine would have been semi-professional, but we needed to have had videos out there 30-second, 1-minute ads, showcasing the candidates. I don't know. There are things we can do better. And
Definitely.
here in Coos County next on Thursday, so in a couple days, if anybody from Coos County is watching, come to the Republican meeting Thursday, 6 p.m. We're going to vote in new PCPs, and we're hoping to do things different with that party because it's not working right now at all. This is obviously not working. This is the opposite of common sense.
But at least you guys can vote on new PCPs. I mean,
Right.
that's a good thing for your county. Douglas County can't even approve their minutes because they can't even get quorum. So,
well, we'll see what happens. I mean,
Wow.
it's not on the agenda. We will be making a motion to vote in new PCPs. We'll see.
See, this is all intentional. This is all intentional. They knew that this is what's going to happen when they started doing this. Just like I know David Brock Smith knew what he was doing when he endorsed the Democrats. And I know a lot of it was based on his hatred of me and all of you. I don't even think he knows Chris, so I don't even know why he hates Chris. But all of a sudden, because he's associating with you and me and Todd, all of a sudden he's on the shit list. And you have to think he can't be thinking strategy. There has to have been some emotional level for him to endorse those Democrats despite us. But then I think there has to be a deeper level that he once again is really trying to drive the county to the left through the local districts. And that's what's happening if they win. Phil Taylor has a great comment. He says, I'm shocked my campaign strategy of drinking beer and talking with people actually works.
Good old fashioned. That's how they used to do it. Go to the bar, speak your mind.
Hey, so I did pull up the results for Coos County in 2023 for the Southwestern Oregon Community College. So it looks like we should be expecting around 6,600 about 6,600 votes. 57 to 6,600 for that position. So I don't remember how many were there for you, but
okay,
quite a few should still be coming in.
Now let me ask you: is that for Coos County or is that for the 3-county area?
That's for Coos County because I think that's what you were looking at before, isn't it? I don't think Douglas has very many. Maybe like 300 to add to that.
Hey, Rob, we never did the ballot measures. Like North Bend had 4 ballot measures.
Oh, no shit. That's true. Okay, let me see. I'm going to have to go back here and local measures, North Bend. Okay, where is this damn thing? I'm still looking for North Bend. Please speak amongst yourselves.
All right.
Damn it, I'm having trouble finding it. Where is it?
I gotta jump off here soon. Anyway, I gotta get my kids to bed, even though it's election night. It's school day tomorrow.
I totally get it. Oh, here it is, North Bend. Okay, for the North Bend, let me see. I can share this. Let me see. Oh, I just stopped sharing. Let me get rid of this and then put that up there. And so North Bend.
You got to pull off Phil Taylor's comment because you're covering up Todd.
Oh, is that where?
No problem.
There he is.
He's hiding.
There you go. Okay, so right now, and this once again is 13%. The charter, amending city charter to change voting requirement is passing.
Bend, they have to pass. So their charter says that they have to get a majority of the electorate. So however many registered voters there are, they have to get 50% plus 1 of the registered voters. So a majority in the election is not a win. I think it has to be like probably 70 or 80% for that to actually change.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why they're trying to change. That's why they have that ballot measure, is to change the charter to be a simple majority, a regular majority of voters in an election, as opposed to the registered electorate.
Okay. All right. So, okay, then explain this. The North Bend sewer rate increase is failing, but is it the same with this?
Right. The current city charter says in order to pass any fee increase, it has to pass by the majority of the electorate, not
Okay.
the majority of the voters in a specific election. Right? That makes sense. Like if there's 10,000 registered voters in North Bend, it has to be 5,001, not just whoever votes in that election a majority. So I don't think any of those are going to pass.
I was going to say, then that means none of these are going to pass.
Yeah.
But they're not passing anyway if they were.
No.
Like the dog park.
The dog, yeah. Okay, establishing a monthly fee to fund dog park construction and maintenance. Yeah, I can barely afford eggs and milk, sir. I want to pay for your dogs to go walking. Maintaining police services. Now, this did get a yes, but that doesn't surprise me. And this is through public safety fee increase, which means it's either through water or sewer, I'd imagine. 5-year local option tax. Now, they said they weren't going to raise. Oh, this is Curry County. Never mind. Curry County oh my God, look at that. 5-year local option tax for Curry County just went down in flames.
Yeah.
If that holds 60%. Whoa, that's
I
huge.
just saw one that passed. Oh, Columbia County. There's one up. There's passed. Their jail levy. Columbia County is very different.
Yeah. Columbia County, that doesn't surprise me. Yeah, there were some of them on here. Like this one here, Madras Aquatic Center Recreation District. I hate these things. I'd never vote for this. And that's because I'm too ugly in a bathing suit now. That's the thing. But yeah, it was 52% yes. Okay. All right. Midland Community Park, East Klamath. Here's a county public safety for East Klamath. And look at that. 80, almost 79, almost 80% said, oh, hell no.
Yeah. People can't afford anything right now. They don't want to be taxed anymore. They're done.
We're way too taxed. We're way too taxed. Even this Rocky Point fire district. And fire districts, this is in the middle of the freaking woods, and they're saying no. Two Rivers North Road, that passed. So that road must suck. It sucks because everyone's voting to get it fixed. Everyone's mad. There's a big potholes all over that road. Fire local. This is Santa Clara 5-year local option tax, 75% yes. Central Oregon Coast Fire District, Lincoln County Fire District, yes. City of Sweet Home Library Services. Oh my God. Wow. They really wanted a library. City of Sweet Home Police 5-year operating levy. I don't want to live in Sweet Home. They like taking people's money. Look at that, 66%. City of Sweet Home charter amendment for direct election of the mayor by voters. I wonder if the city council appoints it. 80%.
I think that's a good idea.
I think that's a good idea. I like that one. Oh, look at this one. City of Hubbard authorize 0.03 per gallon motor vehicle fuel. Imagine that. They didn't want to pay for that.
Well, they're going to pay for it anyway when the transportation package comes through. So joke's on them.
It's jokes. And we're the butt of the joke. Levy off to maintain fire and emergency, and that was a no. City of Staten is a yes. Rural Fire District again. Polk County. Okay, here's one. Polk County Fairgrounds and Event Center local option tax. Hell no. 60% almost. Polk County. Yeah, people are tired of paying for the frills.
Yeah.
City of Dallas general obligation bonds for the Dallas police facilities. Oh, that's not surprising. Yeah. Tillamook increase in transient lodging from 10% to 14%. Look at that.
That's neck and neck.
That's a close one.
Mm-hmm.
So Nessa, you keep popping in and out.
I
I'm
know.
sorry, my phone won't hold the charge.
Oh no. Oh no.
I'm sorry, I'm not doing it on purpose, and I'm not running to the restroom.
I figured your internet was doing it.
No, if I leave you, I'm not doing it intentionally.
Okay. Here is
When's that final drop, Rob? What time is the final drop?
10.
10
10?
o'clock. We're 10 minutes away.
Okay.
So let me
Well, it's
just
not a
finish
final. They do it every 2 hours until they counted them all for the
until
night.
they've counted them all, right?
So in a
Yeah.
month from now, you'll know, Todd. Don't worry.
Yeah, a month
There you
from
go.
now we'll know.
But
That's
2 hours at a time.
Exactly.
Hey, you guys, I'm gonna drop off of here. Since Danessa's
Okay.
back, she'll make up for it.
You got to do. Thank you, Michaela, so much. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Yeah. Happy election day, you guys.
Yes.
Thank you, Michaela.
Thanks for running.
Oh yeah, thank you for running. Thank you for doing all that you do. And let me see. Let me get back to this because I'm almost at the bottom here. Milton Free Water, renewal of a 5-year local option tax to provide public transportation. And so there's a lot of people who needs rides in City of Umatilla, bonds for a new city police station. Hell no. We don't want a new police station there. Defer recreation district 3-year local option tax for operating purposes. Wow, look at that. Recreation district. Why would anyone pay for that? I don't know. I don't get that. White River Health District, that's probably a hospital, renewal of a tax levy to support Deschutes Rim Health Clinic, and that's a yes, which I can totally understand that one. Forest Grove General Obligation Bond to replace the current police facility. No, and it's neck and neck. It's neck and neck. City of King City Police and Public Safety local option. Yes. I bet King City is a little, I guess they have a little bit of crime. They seem to be really interested in keeping their officers on board. And
I mean, some areas just have more money. If you're rich, you probably don't mind the taxes, but we're just not a rich area.
That is true. That is true. I'm going back to the, let me see if I switch the screen here. Yeah. I'm
gonna
going back.
pop off for a second and come back on. My
You
internet
got
is
it.
getting crazy. I'll be right
Go
back.
for it. Okay. Unofficial. This is still from 8 p.m. So this ain't going to do me a damn bit of good. Okay. So let me go back here. Let's get rid of this. There we are. And then there was just you and me, Todd.
All right.
So let me go over some of the comments because we got a lot of comments on here, and
I don't see the comment. Oh, I see a little tiny. Are they in fine print on the bottom right of my screen there?
Right. Yeah, but they're too small to read, so I don't know why they're
No
doing
way
it.
can you read that?
Yeah, there's no way I can read that. So Ashley Hicks says, I reminded the reporter I've been participating in elections since 2016, and this is the first time that the current elected officials campaign for candidates at the Roseburg Hall. Is it ethical? I don't know. Do you know the answer to that question?
Campaigned for the candidates at the Roseburg Hall.
Yeah.
I wonder what Ashley means by the Roseburg Hall.
She means City Hall, I wonder. I wonder if she means City Hall because they can't campaign at City Hall.
Oh.
Or at least you're not supposed
Yeah.
to.
I don't know. I know that the way that the local Republican Party dealt with their slate of candidates that they ran against us for Umpqua Transit, it was very unusual because a bunch of us are Republicans, and they basically treated the slates as though they were running their Republican candidates against non-Republicans. It's pretty crazy.
That's wild. That's once again, it shows the disorganization on the right. Dahlia says, I overheard the local Dems saying how late our ads came out, and I agree with her. It was too late. And once again, I go back to the disorganization of the Republican leadership. And I'm not talking about Danessa here. I'm talking about other people on the executive committee. And I don't know, Danessa, I added you to that comment. Do you want to say anything? Danessa? Oh, I think she froze up. Oh, she's gone. She's gone again. Wow. Okay, James McHenry says we have too many low information voters who don't do any research on the people that they are voting for. Too many people base their vote on if there is an R or D next to the name. Yeah, but if nobody's telling you there are any R's in the race, nobody's going to vote for them, and that's the problem. You know what I mean, Todd?
Plus, this was a nonpartisan election. They didn't even have the R's and D's on the ballot.
Nope, there were no R's and D's on the ballot. But then most people, to his point, are low information voters. And almost everyone I talked today to help them fill out their ballots, nobody knew anyone on the ballot except the people not to vote for, which was odd. You know, like they knew not to vote for Joe Benetti. They knew not to vote for Troy Cribbins because they know their name. But yet they didn't know people who to vote for. So it was kind of weird. Oh my God. Is this SC? Oh, I hope this isn't Sal Carruthers. Just finished closing down my drop box in Salem, Oregon. So all that's let to count. I wonder who SC is. That's interesting. Ashley is saying
Left. He meant left to count. Left to count. LEFT.
Yeah, that's all that's left to count, right? Wait a minute. What did he say? Let me go back to that last comment. Damn it, I hope this isn't Sal.
Just go past it.
I'll just go past. Oh, damn it. I think the drop boxes in Salem are empty and being counted at this point. What the hell? I know. Okay. All right. I'm just going to pass him. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. Thank you, Todd, Chris, Danessa, Michaela, for running. Okay.
Thank you, Ashley. She ran too. Didn't she run for 2 positions?
Yeah. Thank you, Ashley, for running. Yeah, she did run. And she even run against David Brock Smith and loved it. Loved all the competition. It was, having people involved is I'd much rather have choices. I don't care if people lose. I'd rather, you know what I mean, Chris? I thank you for being there to have a choice, because me and my wife are really excited to vote for you, Janessa, Rick Coleman, for that SWAC board. I mean, we were literally just excited to do that, to fill out our ballot, because it was right in the center of our ballot. And so I'm so glad you did, because I would have hated to, none of the above,
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's like part of the reason why I added my name for the school board for the Coos Bay School District, because I just like no one's going to contest any of these people. And everybody I hear complains about Arnold or Arnie Robland all the time, and no one's going to run against him. So it's like, I'm here, I'm at the office, I'm going to file to run.
Right.
Probably have 0 chance of winning, but I'm going to give people the option. So
there's Ashley's she clarified for us. She is talking about the city hall. So yeah, I don't know if that was, I think I heard about that, and they were promoting the slate of candidates that ran against us, the Doge crew. And is that where it happened, Ashley? Was at the city hall? She's talking about the town hall meeting. I didn't go to it.
That's illegal. They cannot, if that was an official town hall meeting and they were campaigning, that was completely illegal.
Yeah. I don't know. I heard that they were pushing their slate of candidates and at a town hall, but I didn't know that happened at the city hall.
I didn't either, but that's not surprising. James says he can read those comments in the right hand corner, and I know James, you wear glasses, so if you
He's a
can read
youngin.
them. He's a young one. Yeah, maybe it's because I only see a little screen. Maybe on the TV you could actually read those comments. I don't know.
If you were on a big screen, for sure. I can read them on mine, but it is very tiny.
Okay. All right. Shit, man. They need to work on that.
You got to make that prescription thicker.
Yeah, there you go. Steve said their slate had 2 registered liberals. Insanity. They had flyers at City Hall and my church. Republicans endorsing a half liberal slate. Nuts. Once again, going back to this is intentional, that they're trying to push the party left. And it's obvious now. If people can't see that you have Republicans who are endorsing liberals over other Republicans based on sheer animosity, because if you go issue to issue, we're pretty much 90% in agreement. But when you have that animosity that has been created because some of them are corrupt and some of them are abusing their power, that becomes a problem for the rest of us. And then that 90% of agreement, you're going to actually cut off that person who you're agreeing with 80 to 90% to vote for a freaking liberal. This is evidence that they're pushing us to the left, Todd.
I know. Listen, you guys, a true populist, a true we the people Republican is the worst enemy to the establishment Republican Party there is. And that's what we're dealing with. I'm telling you. And we can't change that, you guys, as far as we're not, they're globalists. These guys are globalists. They'll work with Democrats. They don't care. That's not a problem to them. They're in it for their own power and money. And when you get true populists running against them, and these guys are the doorway. You got to remember, a lot of the people that get into politics come in through the appointment process. Just like I ran against David Brock Smith when Dallas Hurd quit, we had an appointment process. Well, these commissioners, they control that appointment, and they are the door. So you got to go through the door, and that door is what chooses who comes in and who doesn't. And they do not want true populists, true MAGA Republicans in this party, period. That's what's happening. Just that simple.
It was totally staged. David Brock Smith, that was all staged. That was nothing but theater. He was the foregone, we knew conclusion that he was going to be picked because he was the anointed one. We knew that the commissioners, foregone conclusion, we knew that they were going to pick him. And then you have people like the old Senator Jeff Cruz and people like Wayne Krager and other people, such as even, I think Dallas Hurd's father was, supporting DBS at the time to be in that position. So you had a lot of people promoting this guy, and we all knew that all the rest of you were going to get shit on. I mean, it was just a foregone conclusion, Todd.
Yep. That's the way they do it. They've got the door. You can't get in unless you go through that door. Now, people do get in, like Virgil Osborne got in. It took him a little bit of time, but what happens is, to get in, you have to be sold out to them. They have to know that there's a trust between you and them for you to become part of them. And this is how they took over the executive board. They make promises like, it goes like this, you guys. Hey, we think you have a good career in politics ahead. We would love to see you come in and work with you as an elected official, but we're going to need you to work with us on this one. We're going to need you to help us to do this thing in regard to whatever, the Roseburg 6 and help us get them off the executive board. If you work with us on this one, the door is going to be open to you. We can make things happen for you. This is the way these guys work, man. It happens that way in a lot of different areas of life. Human beings tend to, once they've had power for a while, they begin to control who comes into those circles. And that's what we've got going. It's not an easy thing to break through, you guys. It's just not.
No.
Paul Ryan and all those, Mitch McConnell, all those Republicans are doing Trump.
Yeah, the same thing's happening in Washington, D.C. You see what's going on, my wife's in background. You see what's going on in Washington, D.C. It's the same stuff that's going on.
So Steve Hamerson says DVS should be recalled for endorsing liberals on SWAC, just like the DCRCC executive board should face recall for endorsing the slate with half liberals on UPTD. And I agree with them. There should be some consequences for these people choosing, and I'm not talking moderate Democrats. Marcia and that other woman, they're all about DEI. They're all about wokeness. Well, they're protecting a pedophile. I mean, what more? How much more can you do? So,
Well, and just to clarify, like we're not talking about regular voters. We're not talking like if you're a regular Joe, you can endorse or vote for whoever you want. Or if
right.
you just happen to be registered Republican and you're in elective office, that's fine if you're not involved with the party. You're talking about like David Brock Smith. I went to the convention we just had a couple months ago in Portland, and he's the main guy there. I mean, he's not like chair of the party, but he was this what is he like, the Senate minority leader, and
Right.
I mean, every chance they could, they had him up there at the front of the room talking, trying to advocate for the Republican Party, manage the Republican Party. That's what he wants to do. If that's what you want to do, then you got to work with conservatives and support conservatives. He doesn't want to do that. He wants to do his own thing. And it's like, if that's what you want to do, start your own party. Or if you want to be Democrat and endorse liberals, go be with the Democrats and work for them. Don't pretend you're a Republican. Don't pretend you're trying to elect conservatives to office, because you're not. You're a phony.
You're a
And
phony.
honestly, you're a giant piece of shit if that's what you're doing to all the people who you're swearing to protect and support. You're a piece of shit, man. That is the lowest of low sort of thing you could do, is to walk into a room and say, hey guys, I have all of your back. I'm here to support you and help you run for public office, stay in public office. But then I'm going to go not even behind your back. He did it publicly. He's
In
so
front of our
ballsy.
face.
He
Right.
thinks he's so protected. And maybe, Todd, this is what you're touching on. Maybe he really is protected. But there is a reckoning coming, and I'm going to be part of it. And Todd's going to be part of it. And Rob's going to be part of it. This wall will come down. And like Todd said, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard, but it will come down.
It is.
Steve Hamerson, he had to change his church over the fact that they were promoting the slate on the transportation district that had liberals on them. That sucks.
Wild.
That sucks. Not only is your party stabbing you in the back, but then your church does the same thing. That must really suck. Religion and politics, I didn't think that was supposed to mix. I didn't think you were, you go to church, I want to do the church thing. That just doesn't seem right.
I threw a video up for you. It's it's the candidate who ran against Danessa. So this is somebody who David Brock Smith endorsed.
Is Maria Sereth. What about the college's mission and guiding principles led you to run for the board?
I believe in the college's guiding principles and mission, in the essence that they're very student focused, and they're focused on equitable practices for all students. I actually work for a nonprofit, National Urban Alliance for Effective Education, in which I'm a regional director, working with schools nationally to around equity consciousness, around providing equitable education for all students.
David Brock Smith, people, that's the sort of agenda that he supports and wants at our community college. This is what we fought it. So like, I saw those videos before I decided to run, before Danessa and Rick and I decided to run. And I was like, what the heck? Like, you already know stuff's going wrong with the college, right? We don't even have to talk about it. But then you start looking into who are these incumbents that are running again. And that's what you find. And it's like, oh, okay, they have this whole agenda. They're part of the far left agenda to indoctrinate and take over our youth. And that's what David Brock Smith is supporting, which is polar opposite to what the Republican Party stands for. I mean,
And
it's like,
and what kills me is there's people, the chair, the former chair, people on that executive board who are still supporting that son of a bitch, saying, what do you mean he's a traitor? What do you mean he's a turncoat? And you tell them all the things he's done all the way up to this point of him supporting extreme leftist Democrats, and they have the nerve to look you in the face and go, well, that's just because he's brave enough to cross the aisle and work
no.
across the aisle. And it's like, no, no.
Well, there's a convention in 2 weeks. The Republican Party, we have to elect a vice chair. Michaela's running. I hope she wins. And it's in Bend, and I'm going to be there. And I'm going to be educating people. I'm going to go around the room all day long and educate people on the real David Brock Smith that I have come to know. And I'm going to do my part to let them know and help them understand who he truly is.
James
I'll see you there,
McKinney,
David, because I know he watches this. He told me
and
he
he
watches
watches.
he watches these. So hi, David. Hi.
Yep. And I'm sure he's so happy with himself. If they win this slate, he's patting himself on the back saying, look, I am the kingmaker.
Oh, he was patting himself somewhere watching that DEI video.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Hey, you guys, I'm getting down on my battery power, so I'm going to check out on you. I just got a little notice that I'm about out.
All right. You take care, man.
Thanks, Todd.
All
Tell your
right.
wife we said hi.
Good.
Thanks for her contributions.
Yeah, you bet. Good seeing you guys again. I'll talk to you soon.
All right.
See ya.
Take care, man. All righty then. And
That was great. She was yelling in the background about Bush and McConnell and all
yeah.
that stuff. Hey, Danessa's back.
And Danessa's back. Hey, Danessa.
I'll get a word in edgewise before it goes dead. So this is awful. I've changed. I have one cord and I've been flipping around trying to see if I can get some charge on this thing.
Are you on your phone?
Yeah, I'm on my phone. I tried to get it to move the app thing over to my computer, but I can't seem to get it to feed over to it.
So Coos County dropped about 2,000 more ballots.
I just saw that. Yep. I just got that. So let me put that up here. Bloop. Where did it go? Let me remove the comments. Where the hell did it go? There it is. All righty then. And let me increase the size of that. Let's see.
This is wild. They're not going to have.
Phil's still holding on to. Oh, by the way, what was this? 17% right now.
Right, but so they had, as of yesterday, over 10,000 ballots in. So they're showing here that they've only counted 8,000.
Yep.
I mean, what are they doing? This is insane. I mean, we're not going to know the results for a week, and I'm not even being funny about it. I mean,
no, that's right. Yeah.
This is bullshit.
Yeah, we agree.
This is crazy.
So, well, and once again, this is not a good total to Southwest Oregon Community College. You guys are still really pretty much around the same totals. You guys didn't get any bumps from this latest drop, which once again, like I said, most of the conservatives wait till the last day, and I've seen it change drastically when there's only been 6,000-7,000 ballots counted. So, wow. Richard Coleman. And so, but let me keep going down because I want to see definitely the North Bend at least.
So their daily ballot return is saying they got 3,000, a little over 3,000 more today. So they're saying the total for up until including today is 13,600.
They have 27% turnout. 27.
I mean, if people mailed it though, if it's postmarked, it'll count. So if you put it in your mailbox today or whatever. But yeah, if you put it in a ballot box, it should be in that total.
Okay, David Heisel is still losing. Stan Avery is still losing. So Bandon School Board's gone left.
What about Whitmer? Oh, it got worse.
Whitmer
That's
got
crazy.
worse.
That is really surprising. Matt Whitmer is a police officer in Bandon. He's incredibly popular. That is wild.
Well, they were energized. They were energized. You saw the protest in Bandon. The liberals were really energized. Coos Bay, Arnie Roblin is 64. You're at 35. So that didn't change much.
A slaughter.
That's, yeah, but
We lost Tanessa.
did we lose Danessa again? I'm sorry. So I want to go down to North Bend School District. Oh boy. Mary Schilling is losing. Dallas Pettenbrink is losing.
How is he losing by that much? That is
I don't know.
wild.
That is wild. How is he losing by that much? That just, don't these people know what this board did for them?
So I mean,
Jim,
with that, if that's the result, if it's headed anywhere remotely in that direction, if they lose more than 2, then they've
right.
lost the majority,
That's
and
right.
the North Bend will bring back to vote that urban renewal project and
Yep.
get it through. So
Yep.
that will be a pivotal meeting. If there's anyone from Coos County still watching this,
Yeah.
keep looking for a meeting, an urban renewal vote. It'll probably be what, like end of the summer,
Yeah.
maybe in the fall.
It may be sooner than that because they really want to get in on that project.
Well, but
And
they won't get elected until like July 31st or whatever, right? They won't
right.
get
Right.
put it, sworn in, and then it would have to be put on the agenda. So, but that's crazy.
It looks like Simon Alonso is winning the hospital district.
And Brandon pulled ahead.
Brandon pulled ahead. It may be
Wow.
good. Kyle Stevens is kicking ass, and Troy Cribbins is losing to John Uno quite severely. But then Cribbins, I don't know why he should just change his last name. It would just make things easier for him. His wife did him in.
Or just get out of politics. Like, I mean,
Or-
if you don't stand for anything, I don't understand why you're in politics.
Yeah. Well, and we talk about that all the time. If there is no philosophical or ideological backing to what you're doing, then why the hell are
Or
you
like
doing?
I've seen him in city council meetings. He'll actually, because he's registered Republican, he kind of has that conservative feel. So in a meeting, he'll like bring up good points and make good commentary and ask good questions. And you almost are like, hey, I think he's our guy. But then in the end, when the vote comes, he votes with everyone else. So it's like there's no follow through.
That's exactly what I was explaining to someone today when I was talking about the commissioners, how that they're having conversations that they normally wouldn't have, and partly because Rod is there now and they're able to have those conversations, and they didn't have them before because Melissa Cribbins, and I'll give you an example, is one of those. They had I forget what they call it, a comprehensive plan for the transient tax that they got in Charleston. And part of it was they had to produce the plan and then submit it to get a grant that they were trying to get. And the plan was all full of DEI and equity this, equity that. It was just laced with all that shit. And luckily, many of us in the public, we got to talk before the commissioners, and we got up there and we talked about how you need to pull that shit out. You need to pull all that DEI out of there. No one wants to get involved with this crap. All that equity has to go. And the commissioners sat there and said the same thing we did. Oh, we can't stand this. You're literally accusing us of being racist. You're talking about systemic racism. This is a plan for a transient tax. Why you guys got all this in there? And they really didn't have a good answer. And I thought, this is going great. This is going to be great. In the end, they're going to vote against it. And after all of that fuss that they made about what was in the plan, they fucking voted for it. It's like, well, why even say anything? Just don't put us through this and vote for it, damn it.
Right. And that was like the law enforcement stuff, closing down the jail. Rod seemed like he was like a fighter for us for that, to like figure out a different way to do it and to not shut down the jail and the sheriff's department. But in the end, he voted with the others to close down the jail and defund the sheriff's department. It's like, why go through all that trouble just to be a yes man?
Right. I don't get it. And then you can stand on your vote. That's what kills me is you could have voted no, the other two would have voted yes, and you would have the exact same results, but at least you could come back to the re-election during that campaign and say, well, I actually voted against that. Because because that's when they report it in the news, it's always the Coos County board voted to pass this or they voted to pass that. Well, everyone gets lumped in there, but at least, in the end, you can say, yeah, the board passed it, but I voted against it. They can't even do that.
Yep.
I like Steve. He says, you can take your equitable conscience and shove it, lady. Skills and merit for life. James McHenry says, Coos County loves to be taxed through urban renewal projects. Yes, they seem to be. Simon Alonzo texted me and conceded our race. Congratulations, Phil.
Phil,
You rock, dude.
Huge kudos to you for not only entering the race, deciding to run, but what was he saying yesterday? He said that he decided partially because Sal was advocating for other people, so he was like, I'm gonna join the running. That's funny.
He did such a great interview because he answered the questions as asked. And he says, did I do a good job? And I said, I wish more politicians would be concise like you, because David Brock Smith, he would have been 20 minutes just telling me about all the imaginary things he did. You know what I mean? And you still wouldn't know what the answer to the question was. And so it's nice and refreshing to talk to somebody that answers the question very concisely, gives you a direct answer. It's almost kind of makes me do more work, because as an interviewer, then I got to find other questions to ask him to keep this interview going. You know what I mean? But it's nice to have someone who actually answers the question, because the other night we were at a windmill meeting and Lynn Coker, who's the new commissioner down there, asked the guy from the state bureaucrat, he asked him a yes or no question. And the guy couldn't answered him 5 minutes of bullshit. And then Lynn goes, is that a yes or no? Can you just give me a yes or no? We spent 20 minutes on this guy nearly not answering this question. And he never did in the end.
Crazy.
And you know what the question was, can I ask questions during this presentation? And in the end, he let Lynn ask his question. That's how nuts it is.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, Phil, if you're available Thursday at 6, come to the Republican meeting.
Phil,
we would like to have a good story of somebody winning, and tell us about yourself and introduce yourself to the crew there. And we need people like you to get involved. So
yeah, he says thanks,
Sal.
You made me do it. We'll need to make a meme for that. Sal, we want to thank you so much for helping us get good candidates. Yeah, that's God. And yeah, Phil, Phil, we should have, doing that interview, I didn't realize how much he had experience running a fleet of trucks, a fleet of heavy machinery. You know what I mean? We should have been able to emphasize that more during the election. I don't know if it would have helped him at this point. I don't.
He won. Whatever he did worked.
Whatever he did worked, man. So
those beers,
drinking beer and talking to people. I'm gonna write that down. Fuck you, political analysts. We got a new thing going on: drinking beer and talking to people. Ashley Hicks says official results Wednesday, June 11th to Monday, June 16th, 2025 is the window for certifying election results, no later than election day plus 27. Yep. And she's right. It could take that long.
Ooh,
is that crazy or what? That's nuts.
Well, I mean, it'd be one thing if we're only waiting on like absentee ballots or, something like a small number, right? If we were at 90% or 95%, they're saying they've got over 13,000 ballots in, and they've only counted 8,000. That's like 60%.
And okay, so there's a schedule. She can release the next drop, the ballot drop, but there's a schedule, and I think it's a day or two away.
No, it's next Wednesday. So it's like they'll do every 2 hours until they decide to quit tonight.
And they've already decided that, I can guarantee you.
Well, when they ran the commissioner race last year, they did two more drops, I believe. It was like 10 and midnight. But anyways, we'll see what they do. But whenever they stop, I think it's Wednesday is the next one.
Okay.
They don't do any drops again until Wednesday, which if they don't do another drop, I'm going to call tomorrow and be like, what the heck is going on, people? Because again, it's one thing to leave out a small number of ballots, but like, this
Yeah.
this doesn't only 8,000 out of 13,000 being counted. That's not acceptable.
Right. Right. That's but if she okay, here it goes. Let's see. The first report of election results will be available in Coos County website approximately 8 p.m. on election day. A full schedule of when results will be released can be found on the Coos County website. Those interested are welcome to come observe the election process. Yeah, right. Additional information as well as the required forms for observation can be found at the Coos County website. So shit, man. It's ridiculous. Later than 7 days. Yeah. So we pretty much are done here. We're until next drop, and unless we sit here until midnight, and I really don't want to do that. You?
No thanks.
Yeah, man.
But
This
yeah,
really
only
is.
8,000 ballots, only the results from 8,000 ballots. That's, it's about 6% or 60%. So we've got less than 2/3 of the results in,
Yeah.
so it's not going to change vastly, but for some races that are pretty close, I mean, it makes a difference. I just
Yeah.
don't, we just need the results. I mean, like, wasn't it Danessa earlier? She was saying, like, we have the new machines, we have all this new modern technology. Why do we not have the results like instant? This is crazy.
And that was the thing and it wasn't not too long ago in this county. And I would be there on election night a lot of times with Terry Turry, who was the county clerk, and she would get that stuff done in one night. It was done. Peace out, brown trout. That was John Taylor. Peace out, brown trout. Yeah, I feel the same way. Yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at. So, anything you want to say before we get out of here? Because I really need a drink and a smoke and wonder what the hell just happened.
Yeah, if these results stand, the conservatives got our asses handed to us. So we'll have to do better.
And the problem
I'll
is
do my part.
Part of the blame, a good portion of it, is other conservatives. And that just pisses me off, Chris. Well, not other conservatives, other Republicans. I shouldn't label those two together.
We got to do something about it. I know I will.
Oh, Ashley Hicks says, thanks, Rob, for hosting a good night talking about important local elections. Ashley, it was my pleasure. And I'm so glad you could join us. And thank you once again so much for running. God, Chris, thank you so much. I don't care that you lost. You gave me the opportunity to vote for you twice. That's kick ass, man. Actually, I voted for you once. I wasn't able
just
to,
once.
Yeah, the school. Yeah.
Are you filling out Coos Bay election ballots? You really are ballot harvesting. Jeez.
Yeah, actually, that's because I remember telling that to somebody. I was over at Sam's house, and he lives over on California in the Coos Bay School District. And so, yeah, I got him to vote for you. So via him, I got to vote for you twice. So,
I mean, there's a lot more votes coming in. Tons of people called, texted today, wanting help filling out ballots, recommendations. So, there's a lot out there, but I'm almost positive I did not win. It's not going to swing my election. I have quite an overwhelming loss.
I still would like to see it closing up a lot more. I'd like
it is what it is. If it is whatever it is, we need to look at it hard and have tough questions and come up with some answers. So
yeah. And we have to self-reflect. We got to look at because we made a lot of mistakes, and there were things that we could have done, but hindsight 2020, right? All right, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much. And you have a good night. Okay.
You too, Rob. Thanks for having me on.
No problemo. And folks, I don't know if I'm going to have a Friday night rant. Maybe by Friday, I'll have some ranting material to rant on. I'll see if Marty is all up for a rant. I mean, after these election results, I think we might all be pretty close. Well, I'm not going to stick around for midnight. I'm going to go to bed probably here. And I don't know what the election results are going to be in the end. So we'll find out. That's what happens when election day turns into election week. And I so hope that Phil Taylor holds his lead, because like I said, Phil, cross your fingers, because you never know when those numbers come in. And so we're going to be seeing quite a few changes on these totals in the next couple of days. Like I said, it's either a drop on Tuesday or Wednesday, I think what Chris said. And so I'll see you all, if not Friday, definitely Monday. And until then, you know what I always say, folks? Carry on, Coos County. Carry on.